For my next build, I decided to build a Lego cow, and I built this using only pieces from Lego Bricks and More set 5508. So I was pretty limited with the number of pieces that I could use for this, but I think for what I had to work with, it turned out pretty nice. I'll give you a closer look at the detail. Here's the head. I kept that pretty simple. I had a lot of different iterations of the head, and I decided to go with this pretty simple 4x2 head, which looks pretty close to an actual cow's head. I did some research online actually to try to get this as accurate as I could. The body itself, I have some detailing on the side, and it's actually the same for both sides to mix the white and black. And the body's mainly just a square, or a rectangle I should say, with a little bit of detail here in the back, and then there's also some detail here where it comes out on the neck, but I'll show you that a little bit closer and a little bit later in the video. The tail, not super happy with the tail, but I did the best that I could with what I had, and that's how it turned out. The legs themselves, this one's actually coming off a little bit here. I just used 1x1s going down there. I put a little bit of detail into the front. I actually ran out of black ones, so I had to do the back legs all in white. So they don't really stand out as well as the front. And then the udder I did in white as well, and you can see that there. I think that kind of looks realistic. Here's the bottom. This is actually quite a few pieces to put this together. I have a lot of different opportunities here to build the actual body of this thing, so I just kind of went with what I thought worked best, and this is what turned out. So next, I think it'd be interesting to kind of show you how to build this thing, or at least build something similar to it. To start building the cow, you're going to want to start with the body first, and this is what I came up with. This is sort of just a glorified rectangle. You can see here from the bottom, it's 10 long and it's 4 wide. And the sides, I put some black on the side. You can do this however you want, really. I thought this looked the best. Looking at some cows, I noticed that they have a dip of black on the side in most cases, and then the top you sort of have the white there. So I wanted to keep that the same way. And I thought putting that white piece inside there gave it some nice variety. On the back side here, this is a slanted piece that I had, which was in black, so I ended up putting that on. And this is the spot that you're going to want to put a slanted piece in as well for the tail. The tail is going to come down from there. And then also on the front, you're going to have a slanted piece here, so you can have the head go up on top of that. So this is what I came up with. Like I said, you can do this however you want, but I felt like this was a really nice design for the cow. And that's the whole body there. So you can do this however you want, but this is what I prefer here. The next step is you're going to want to build your legs and your tail. But for the back legs, it's as simple as a slanted piece that goes upwards with 2 1x1s on it. And I'll show you how to put that on. This will go on the back like this, right there. So you can see how the one leg is. And then the other leg is just going to mirror that and go like that. So it gives you a nice rounded back end there. And while we're back here, we'll go ahead and put the tail on as well. The tail is just some 2x1s with a black one at the bottom to give it some detail. So that'll go on there. The legs aren't super sturdy, so you're going to have to mess with them all the time. And then the front legs, they're very similar to that. They're just 1x1 on the front with a black in between, like I showed earlier. And that goes up like that. I think the 2 whites there together give it more of a thicker look at the top of the leg, which is something that you want to go for. And then the other side is going to be the same as well. And then finally, you're going to put the udder, or what I determined to be the udder, right there. So that is the full body of your cow, and that's actually pretty simple. And lastly, I'll show you the head. The head itself is very simple. This is a 2x2 black with a 2x2 white, and then there's 1x1 eye pieces on both sides. You'll put those on top of a 4x2 to give them some stability. And then on the ears, these are 1x1s. I used to use these for headlights back when I was making vehicles. And then you have a 1x1 black and then one of these slanted pieces for the ear. And I used the black there just to set the ear off a little bit so you can see how that looks from the back. I think that looks really nice. And then I had the ear pointed upwards just to make it look a little perkier. And I kind of envision this as being the nose or the mouth, so that kind of gives it some accent too. And then you'll top that off with another 4x2. Finally, the last step is just to take the head and then put it on the cow like this. And then you can see how that looks. It has a nice squared off look. I would have ideally liked the head to be down like this. I think that would have looked a lot nicer, so you can see how that looks. But I didn't have the proper pieces using the Bricks and More set that I have to make any kind of angle, so it's going to have to be a right angle. And that is the finished cow. I think it turned out pretty well. Most of the animals that I've seen that people have made using these sets are very basic. I think this is a really nice setup, and I think it turned out pretty well. I really love this cow, and I hope you like it too. If you have any questions about how to build it or have anything to say about the video, please leave a comment. Thank you.